Today we are talking about mastering Instagram basics. So why Instagram? Well, you probably already know, because you know your audience super well, that you have users and you have followers that are on Instagram that are also in your audience. It is one of the places your audience calls home. In fact, 63% of Americans check Instagram daily. But Instagram is a great location to find your audience and supply them with entertaining, informational, and engaging content. In fact, posts that include some specific features that we're going to talk about today, such as location, can increase your reach and get found with 75% more engagement. So there are some essential tools that you need to know about in order to be effective on Instagram. Instagram essential features is really the anatomy of the app. So when you're looking at your Instagram on an Android device, you will see that the homepage, okay? That's the first thing you're going to see as soon as you log in. It looks like this. And there are some navigation. There's navigation both at the top and at the bottom. The ones at the bottom include your home, your search, home, explore, reels, shop, and then your profile. And on the top, it looks like it is your plus or your add content, your activity feed, which is under that heart, as well as your DMs. And that is what you would see from your dashboard. If you navigate to your profile, you're going to see different navigation, and you're going to see an ad feature, which has more options, as well as the hamburger menu, which is where you'll find some of your insights and some of your settings and other features. The same navigation is seen on Instagram on an iPhone. So if you're an Apple user, you would see the same buttons in the same locations. They do the same things. Some different versions of Instagram I have seen over the past year might have some slight differences, but if you're using the latest, this is most likely what you're seeing. Now, Instagram has its own set of lingo and its own set of terms that it's going to be really helpful to know and understand. First off is a post. A post is just plain old content. It is the default. It is the OG of Instagram and the original type of content that you would see on the news feed in your Instagram when you log in on that homepage. It's typically an image of some sort and static. So it's not moving, there's no video aspects to it, and it does not have any of the interactive features or stickers and things like that that a story would. A story is only available for 24 hours and it posts up at the top of the app. So when someone logs in, the stories appear across the top from their account and other accounts that they follow. You can also save a story to a highlight that sticks to your profile. So if you're creating stories and creating content that you want to keep around for a while, then you can add it to a highlight and it will save to your profile where someone can view it at a later time. A reel is a video that is 60 seconds or less. So a reel can be a variety of different things. It could include images, it can include video, it could be content that you're recording in advance or that you're recording right now while you're getting ready to post, but it is 60 seconds or less. On the other hand, Instagram TV or IGTV is actually 60 seconds or more. So if you are creating videos or publishing videos that are more than a minute long, those would show up under the Instagram TV section of your slide. Carousels are posts that contain a series of images. And so these would show up with the dotted lines underneath, and someone would need to swipe across the images in order to see all of the images in the series. This can be a collection of graphics where you're very intentional and you're drawing the user through the series using elements of design or like literally arrows and pointing. It could also just be a collection of pictures that helps tell a story or is giving the same idea. Then there is DMs. DMs are the private messages that are sent in between Instagram accounts. So if someone wants to send just a single user a piece of content or share something with someone privately, you can do that through direct messages. Then as part of the news feed, there's a few different actions someone can take to engage with your content. One thing would be to save it to a collection and bookmark it. This is actually really great because it tells the algorithm that your content is so valuable, someone wants to save it and look at it again later. Other things that they can do is like a post or comment on a post or send it to either share it with someone or send it to their own story. People can find you in a variety of different ways, but one of those ways is through the Explore page. So when someone logs into the app, they have their homepage, which is their news feed of the people and the content that they follow. They're also served ads in their newsfeed. But then if they go to that bottom navigation, which we saw in the beginning, they can go to the Explore page and see content that is similar to other content that they're engaging with and excited about. And Instagram curates a collection that they can then explore. So hence the word explore. And 50% of Instagram users use the Explore page every month. So if you're not creating content and using the hashtag strategy, then you might be missing out on new audience members and new impressions and reach for your account. Which brings us to our hashtag. Hashtag is that pesky little pound sign that everybody that's like older than, millennial, calls a number sign. Other folks might call a pound sign, but essentially it is the pound sign or the number sign followed by a collection of words or characters or phrase that are all smashed together. There's no spaces in between the characters, and it's all smashed together so that it creates a searchable phrase or word that collects topics. So a hashtag can be branded, it could be trending, it can even go viral. But all of these are words that describe a collection of topics, a collection of posts about the same topic or about the same category. And posts that have at least one hashtag actually receive on average, 12.6% more engagement. So this is partially because it will start to trend and it will start to show to audiences. It'll start to show to members of Instagram that maybe are not already in your audience. So using a hashtag is a great way to get your content in front of new eyeballs and new users so that they can like, share, bookmark, and do all of those things to engage with your content. But hashtags, they shouldn't be a headache. So if you're creating your hashtag strategy for the first time, then it's a great idea to just set a timer for like 30 minutes and approach this in kind of like a 3 or 4 step process. So here it says 8, but some of these can kind of smash together. So you want to make a list of different hashtags that you can use. This can include a collection of hashtags that are associated with your audience. So you might say something like hashtag mompreneur or entrepreneur or stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad. These are obviously just the things that are coming to mind for me right now. But once you have a collection of words that your audience would identify with, you can also then develop a list of words that someone might search by that are related to the product or service that you offer or the solution that you offer. So these might look more like hashtag e-course or advice, tips. It might talk about your industry. It could be, say, like marketing or motorcycle service and something like that. The other set would be a set of hashtags that are branded hashtags. And these would be ways that someone could find other content about your brand on the internet. It's also possibly a way for you to do a little bit of competitor research and interact with audience members that are already part of another brand's community. This could include like literally your name as a hashtag where like all the spaces are taken out. It could be the name of like your community. So like Lady Gaga has her little monsters. It could also be trending or topical things. So it could be something about like who they want to be president, or which party they affiliate with. It could also include, for example, like the name of different like types of your service. So like hashtag chariots motorcycles, or motorcycles by chariots. You can really create these in your own way. Once you have all of these different hashtags laid out, you're going to want to do just a little bit of research and see which ones are most common and how frequently or recently they've been used. And so that's why it's important to really write down their hashtag ideas, either in a spreadsheet or a piece of paper, so that you can keep track of them, because it's really easy to have very slightly different hashtags that are really similar in nature if you just kind of mix and match the words together. But to keep track of them for this next step, which is where you go into the app or into a hashtag tool. There's lots of third-party services that would love for you to subscribe and use their tools to get your hashtag research done with. But basically, you're going to search and see how frequently they get used, how many times it's been used, and how recently it's been used. And you can do that through the Explore page in the app. And really just kind of write down approximately how many times it has been used. Then taking a mix of these different hashtags, you can find a sweet spot where you're having some that are on the high, like are being used super frequently, some that are being used moderately, and some that maybe aren't being used at all. Especially if you're still building your community, your branded hashtags may have a really low number of uses because you might be the only person using them so far. That's when you get into kind of like an offline strategy where you can advertise your hashtags and encourage users or customers to start using your branded hashtags and creating user generated content. Once you have a mix of different like high use, medium use, and low use, you can use kind of a mix of those in and on your content that you're creating. It's also possible to include a hashtag like on the actual story or inside of the caption on your content. So those are just some ways to start generating hashtags for your own use. And then you can include up to 10 hashtags on a story and up to 30 on a regular post. We recommend really just using a variety and looking for trends in your results to know, to really know how the hashtags are affecting your performance, so to speak. Then once you are creating content, it's a great option to use the stories to describe different services that you offer, different events. You can showcase your brand and what your behind the scenes content, what your culture is like. And when you have stories that are either performing really well or that you don't want to have to redo over and over again, you can actually save those stories as a highlight and they'll appear on your individual profile where people can see them at any time. Otherwise, they expire after 24 hours and are only accessible in your archive through your branded account. Also, including them in your archive is a setting, so you will want to look for that to make sure that you're saving those and you can view them later. So with all kinds of different ways to create content, it's important to know what you actually want to measure and how to gauge your success. So when you're finding your footing, the top 4 things that we recommend looking for as your KPIs would include your reach. So that's giving you a measurement of what your brand awareness is and how many people are seeing your content. You can also measure your link in bio clicks. And so this is like how many people have taken action to and like answered or responded to your call to action. And left the app and gone to your content. This could include like an ebook. If you have something that's like a downloadable, it might include just going to your website. It could include like a click to call where somebody is trying to call you. And so really taking action to serve your bigger business goals. Saves is a really great measurement for engagement, which we'll talk about in a second. But saves, it means that your content is so amazing that people want to save it and look at it later. So that is a great measurement. That is not impressions. Impressions is how many times your content is seen. Reach is how many people saw your content. And then saves would be how many people are so interested that they want to save it for later. And your engagement rate. So your engagement rate is commonly used to determine like how successful or how active and engaged your audience is with your Instagram account. And so the way that you would calculate that is to take the total number of likes, comments, shares, and saves on a post, and then divide it by your follower count. And that will give you a percentage of how many engagements you're getting or how many actions people are taking based on your follower count. See here. So with all of this in mind, there's a lot of information that you can learn about, as well as lots more that you can dive deeper into. And so we actually have a special offer for everyone tuning in and who registered. And if you're tuning in or seeing this later, don't worry, this is still available to you as well. We have actually from the Beta Lab an Instagram extended e-course. So this includes on-demand videos of our extended lessons. It takes a deeper dive into these lessons as well as other tips and tricks that we have for Instagram if you're trying to build your brand. We also include activities to actually put the lesson into take the theory and put it into action so that you're gaining insights and making a difference in your Instagram social media strategy. And the prompts will help you develop your strategy and write a content strategy so that you can start producing more Instagram content and getting the results that you're looking for. It also includes a one-to-one coaching call with a member of our team to discuss any questions that you have about any of the modules, as well as what your next steps should be based on where you are. Everybody's in a different point in their journey. And so we really want to take a one-to-one approach with you and give you a custom experience with Neat and Nimble. So if you're interested in signing up and doing our extended learn and launch, that is available at the link I'm going to say below because that's usually where the links are. But that link will be available on our website. And if you have any questions at all, please reach out to us and we'd be happy to answer them. So thank you so much for tuning in for today's Learn and Launch, and we look forward to seeing you.